Joining us today on Island Focus is Stacey Aldrich, State Librarian for the Hawaiʻi Public Library System. Mahalo for being with us, Stacey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be with you today.
So as the State Librarian, you have in your embrace all the state libraries across the state. What are your challenges and opportunities, and ultimately, what can we as a public do to support the state libraries?
It's really amazing to think that it's only been 6 weeks. It feels like a lifetime that we've all been trying to figure out what can we do right now to support our communities. And for public libraries, our physical doors maybe have been closed, but our virtual doors have been open. And so this time has given us an opportunity to really accelerate creating more programming online to support communities. So we've added streaming media and movies for families to watch. We've been able to extend some of the services that normally you could only use in a library, like Ancestry, so people can work on their genealogy while they're at home. Our librarians have started to do virtual programming so people can see and kids can see their favorite storytime librarian reading a story to them if they miss them. So we've been really using this time to look at what we can do. We've also looked at how do we relax our policies so that everybody has access. In the past, we would block people who had fines and fees. We just lifted those so people could just get access to all these amazing resources of ebooks and e-magazines and movies and language and all kinds of learning opportunities online. So looking at our policies, so how can we support people, even making sure people have a library card. So we've been able to put up our application online so people can have a digital card so they can have access to all these things. And to our great surprise, without a lot of media, in the first 3 weeks, we had over 1,400 people apply for library cards. So the library has been this place that people have been able to count on. The challenge has been we also have communities that don't have as much access. So while we have these virtual libraries available, we have people who don't have connection to enjoy these virtual libraries. And so normally in our physical spaces, that's where we would have access to the internet. People could use computers, they could bring in their device. A lot of people still have a tablet, or they might have their phone and they can use Wi-Fi. How do we extend our technology so that even when we're not open, people will have connectivity? At the same time, during all of this, we've had to pay attention to all of the requirements and not wanting people to be next to each other and near each other. So it's very hard because we're about connecting people and we have to figure out new ways to connect people at a social distance.
Well, yes, and when you open, and we will open again.
Yes.
You know, the libraries are the places where we feel the safest, actually, where we can learn and explore quietly. How is that going to change?
For us, it'll feel a little different in the beginning because we're going to slow roll out services. So we'll start with book drops, and then we'll have services from the door where we can pick up materials, and then we'll invite people in, but we'll have to make sure that there's social distance. So we're in the process now of moving computers around so people don't have to sit closely to each other. We're thinking about having more technology within the library that we can check out so people can go sit in quiet corners. So I think the difference is we'll be there, we'll be smiling faces, probably masks for a while, but we're just trying to create the space so that people can come back in and use all of our great resources.
I know the state libraries are supporting and very helpful with the independent schools, and as well as the public schools. But there's some areas that are not connected by broadband.
Again, we're trying to figure out ways that we can extend our connectivity to the public outside of our buildings to reach people. So if they can't come in, they can use Wi-Fi outside. And for us, we found that we need to actually do more work in extending that technology out so people have access. So again, it's just trying to figure out ways to broadcast more signal to our communities so they can get onto the internet. We want to support all of those people who are coming back in, who will be trying to find jobs, and families who will have limited resources. That connectivity is going to be so important. And for students, we want to make sure that we're helping them with summer slide. Now they have a little bit of a longer slide, it would seem, because it's been a challenge too. And again, I still can't believe it's only been 6 weeks. It feels like a lifetime. I hope that people will really recognize that libraries are about opportunity, and make sure you let your legislature and the governor know that we need to make sure there's investment in the library so that we can have those resources for everyone.
It's kind of exciting, all the new changes and the adjustments that you're making. And in closing our conversation, what do you envision will remain?
I think everything we do remains, it's just a little different. So programming might be a little bit different. I think what we've been trying to do, which is I think a challenge for everybody, is normally you can plan for the future. You can think about what's it going to look like next week. So this is what we're going to do. Now we don't know. Like 30 days from now, the world could be completely different. And so I think our biggest challenge is figuring out how to be really flexible and pivot with the changes that are happening and be able to continue to provide the services of connecting people to information and ideas and to our stories.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Stacey. And what I really appreciate hearing is that we're all in this together. And even though we may have faced times of uncertainty or the unknown, this is so incredibly different that as long as we communicate, as you have said it also, we can get through this well with each other. Thank you.
I think we can too. Thank you.
You've just had the occasion to meet Stacey Aldrich, who is the Hawaii State Librarian. Mahalo.